Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode, second chapter of Grade 10 Mathematics by Janit Vikramasuriya, Rotaract, Janit Vikramasuriya from the Rotaract Club of NSBM through the wonderful initiative Road to A Plus. Yes, hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. Hope you guys are enjoying your December. Yep, December is starting. Started. So let's get on today with our second chapter. The second chapter is actually square roots. It's a very small chapter, and and it will only give you 2 marks minimum. So it won't be that long. Last time it went up for 2 hours. Hope you guys watched it. I feel like if you guys, nobody has asked any question, but if there is any question, you can always ask in the comment section. If you want, you can straight away contact our Rotaract Club through any WhatsApp or our Instagram or Facebook, whatever the way. Anyways, I think this initiative is a very successful initiative at the moment because now we are moving on with mathematics as usual, grade 10, grade 11, science, English, and now there will be something new coming up through within this week actually. It's mostly to IT, as I believe. You can yeah, stay tuned for IT and all with a new lecturer, and it will be awesome anyways. So I'm super excited for today because you guys are back and I'm doing my second video for this Road to A Plus, and it's really been a great day and great initiative, honestly. Like, we got some awesome feedback in the first episode. The first episode was really good because we did send it to many track clubs, and many it went we it was useful. Hope you guys listen to everything. Yeah, I know it's 2 hours, it's so big, so that's why I'm going to always make it shorter as possible. So no more let's see, I will try to make some jokes in the middle and do it anyways. Let's stick to the syllabus of the first term examination and let's get on with it. Hope you guys staying safe, and now let's start on with our day, with our chapter. So let me share my screen. uh, yep, share screen. Okay, hope you guys can see the screen. Yes, very good. So today's chapter is not oopsie doopsie pause. Give me a minute. Okay, we are back, and yes, let me share the screen now, and let's get on with the square root chapter today. Second chapter of your grade 10 mathematics book, Road to Success. Yes, wait, let me share. Hope you guys can see it. And our second chapter, chapter 2, square root. This is a very small chapter. Basically, I think this will be the smallest chapter in your whole syllabus, because honestly there will be only minimum 2 marks, or I think sometimes it will be maximum 2 marks too. uh, More than that, this is more of a technique. This is more of a, the aid, which will help you to do a sum. This will help you to do a sum. Basically, the method of finding square roots and all will help you to do bigger sums. So that's why square root chapter is there. Anyways, we'll try to make it short as possible. And anyways, this is a very small chapter. So what we are going to do today, the content inside will be, first of all, the paper, not the even though it says paper discussion as on number one. The thing is, I wanted to mainly focus on that because one thing common, one factor common in my lessons in Road to A Plus, Grade 10 Mathematics, is the fact that I always talk about past papers. Because as I said in chapter 1, past papers, if you have done your past papers, if you have done your western provinces, if you have done your the provincial ones, the district ones, whatever the past papers, you are good to go, because when you know your models, And then when you have done your past papers, there are there will always be new sums, but there will never be new models, or there will be never be new there will be new applications definitely, but there won't be newer stuff. It's always according to that square. You can think out of the square at once. That there will be opportunities for you to think in this exam, but if you do your past papers, if you know your models, that's it. As I talked about this in last time too. Yep. So past paper discussion, the square root. So then we are coming to the first part of the lesson, the square root of a positive number. The division method is the second one, and using square roots of the numbers to solve the problems. Basically, there are two to three methods, two methods basically, and then we are using those methods applications to find the and solve the problems using square roots of numbers. So let's move on to the second slide. Yes, here is your, last time I showed this is the same thing for people who are joining for the first time. If this is the video you're watching for the first time, we talked about these in the last chapter, perimeter. If you want, you can check out our last video through the link below. Definitely the link will be there. The first term examination structure and content will have perimeter. The first term will have perimeter, square root, fraction, and those stuff. And now we are doing square root, which will be, the question will mostly be in part A of paper 1. So basically 2 marks will be allocated. That will be the minimum, I feel so. And I talked about the theorem book. I'm not going to say about it. In square root, there is no use of getting theorem books, but if you want something to write, that will be only two things. That there are two models called there are two models inside this. Let's talk about this later. And then this is important as usual. Wherever it is very important. Answering any math question will require these three. I'm repeating this stuff, okay? These stuff were taught very well in the first chapter. That's why we took 2 hours to explain chapter 1, perimeter. 2 hours, because it was filled with what the answering a question, the theorem books, the examination structures, how to prepare for an exam. Everything was inside that. Everything related to mathematics was inside that chapter. So please, I plead you, I ask you, please go and check out that video. It will be a great help for anybody. Like I feel it will be helpful. So if you do like this video, even do share, like you can get do share with your friends to, you know, so they can learn too. I mean, not just this video, share whatever it all is on road to A plus, whatever is on educational channels related to mathematics and related to any subjects. If it is useful, that is what you, as a student, you should do. Try to try to learn it with each other and succeed. I don't know what I'm talking about today. Anyways, let me clear out my mind. We are ready for the second episode, the second chapter, square root. And now we are moving on to the the chapter content. Square root of a positive number. According to your textbook, this is your first 2.1 says. Let's read it out. It's okay. I know mathematics is not about reading out, but let's read it out. Why not? They have given it, so let's read it out. You have earlier learned some facts about square of a number. Square root, the value of 3 into 3 is 9. We denote 3 into 3 in short by 3 squared. This is read as 3. Yeah, that's actually what they're going to say is that 3 squared equals 9. Basically that. Anyways, what happens is, you can see when the same squares, I mean the square numbers. What is a square? Yeah, first let's get into what is a square. What is the square? Square is taking one number, one digit, one number, and multiplying it by the same number to get the product, the values, the square of the number. Basically, it's like more of it's more of multiplying the same number twice. So 2 into 2, 4, 3 into 3 is 9, 4 into 4, 16, 5 into 5 is 25. Those are squares, okay? 25 is a square. So what is square root then? Yeah, this part is not that hard. I know you guys know these stuff because I'm 100% sure you guys know this stuff, but I'm gonna teach anyways. Oh, let's get it. Red color. I love red color. So 2 squared. Yeah, sorry about that. 2 squared equals 4. What is the square root? So this is square. 2 times 2 is 4. What is the square root? Square root is root 4. Yeah, I know you won't be getting it that easily. What this means is, how did we get 4? 2 into 2. Okay. Square root is finding that one. Now how do you find a square is multiplying the same number by another to get the square. So square root is finding that one number, because one number is repeated twice and multiplied it to get the square. So finding the square root means finding that one number, what it leads to. Square root of 4 is 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. Simply that. Okay, so it's not a big deal. It's a very simple. I don't like to say the word simple, but I know it's not complicated at all. At your age, you know these stuff, because if you know your multiplication table, you know how, because it will definitely, there 1, 2, 3, there everything will have 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3 is 9, all of them. So yeah. Anyways, that is what finding the square root is mainly. According to the first and last column. Okay, if you read this, now they are saying something. Numbers such as 1, 4, 9, 16 are perfect squares. Finding the square root is the inverse of squaring. There you go. That's what I said. 2 into 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. That's the inverse. It's like, it's a one equation. We are going back and we are coming front. That's the same thing. Okay. Finding the square root is the inverse of squaring. For example, since 3 squared equals 9, we say the square root of 9 is 3. It's simple as that. Square root of 1 is 1. Read this stuff. 4 is 2, 9 is 3, 16 is 4, 25 is 5. How did it happen? 5 into 5 is 25. So square root of 25 is 5. So in this chapter, we are not only talking about this stuff. We are also talking about how we are finding the square root of a positive number, of any positive number. So now let me share another screen with you guys. Basically your textbook. I'm sharing your textbook. Let me share it. Here we go. Okay, here's your textbook. Hope you guys can see it. I think you guys can see it. Your screen sharing. Yeah, you should see it. The symbol root, this is root. Okay, this sign is root. Root is used to denote the square root. Accordingly, we can write this. When the square root of 1 is 1, you can write it like this. Root 4 is 2, Now 16 is 4, 25 is 5. That is how it is done. Anyways, now it is clear that every number has a square. However, does every positive number have a square root? Okay, now the best part is, if you can remember, how many positive numbers are there? Positive numbers are, it's just positive. There are infinite number of positive numbers. And positive numbers can even be decimals if you know that. Like from the number scale, if you put it 1, 2, 3, 4, even 3.2 is a positive number. Is a positive number. So, does every positive number has a square root? That is the question. Does every positive number has a square root? According to the above table, the square root of 4 is 2 and the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of a number between 4 and 9 is a value between 2 and 3. Now, what are they saying? The square root of a number between 4 and 9 is a value between 2 and 3. How come? It is very true. Let me tell you. Now, when you're taking the square roots, or when you're taking, let's say, let's go to the number line or any number line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you take squares of that, 1 will go to 1, then 2 will go to 4, then 3 will go to 9, then 4 will go to 16. So if you want to find the square root of a number between 4 and 9, 4 and 9 are squares of 2 and 3 respectively. So 4 and 9, between 4 and 9, if you want to find a square root or a square root, that number should also lie within 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Did you get it? I think you might have not got it. So I'm going to explain it here. So basically, what I'm saying is 2 square, okay, 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9. Okay. So if a person asks what is the square root of 4, it will be 2. Am I right? What is the square root of 9 will be 3. So what will be the square root of, let's say, 5? Let's say 6. Let's say 7. Let's say 8. Any of these numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, will fall under these two, between these two, 2 to 3, within these two, 4, 6, 7, 8. The square roots of 4, 6, 7, 8 will fall under 2 and 3. Because 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9. There is a pattern. If you see, there is a pattern. Yeah, I mean, not about the differences, but about the you see the fact that if you are taking it 2 and 3 in between, these will fall. That pattern is there. Okay, so let me clear that. And according to the above table, the square root of 4 is 2 and in this lesson we will consider how an approximate value is found for this. We call such a value an approximation. Ladies and gentlemen, now hope you guys are doing well. Meaning, I was when I started this this chapter today, I was like thinking what you guys might be doing today, because today is a very, very good day to do square root. Honestly, you should, when I put this out, when the video is out, I need you guys to do this, because honestly this chapter is very small and I feel like this, you can do this in 5 minutes. Even though this chapter will go for around 1 hour, for 1 hour, but you can do it in 5 minutes and finish it off. And that will be enough for the whole day. Okay, so now let's move on. The square, this method is called the approximation method. What is this method called? The approximation. We are not sure. We are sure that when you take 2 square, it will fall under 4. It will be 4. 3 square, it will be 9. Okay. Then when we want to find the square root of 5, 6, or 7, or 8, it will fall between this. We are sure about that. But are we really sure about the exact decimal place? Because 2 to 3, it should be a decimal, either 2.1, either 2.2, either 2.3, either 2.4. Infinite. Actually, there are infinite numbers in between two digits, if you know that. There are infinite 2.111113. It can happen. So, yeah, if you don't know about that, that is very true thing. There are infinite numbers in between two digits, 2 and 3. There are infinite numbers between 2 and 3. There's 2.1, 2.2. Those are the stuff we can see in our ruler, our centimeter ruler. But there is our meter ruler. But there is when we go inside, when we go more inside, there are millimeters. There are infinite of millimeters inside of those. So basically, and more, if you cut into more, there will be more. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why we are taking this whole discussion of finding the square root now to an approximation method. This is method number one. Method number one, remember today, this is method number one, approximation method. Method number one, approximation method. Let us, for example, take this. Let's take this example. Look at this. This is a very good example. Let me erase a bit of this. Okay. All right. Superb. I'm super excited today. I don't know why. I feel like you know, doing this also for the 2 hours kind of feeling. No, honestly, this will be only it will be lesser than 1 hour, I'm pretty sure. If I don't talk much in between, definitely it will be lesser than 1 hour. I'm trying my best. Let's do this. 2.1. Yeah, look at this. Between 2 and 3, there are decimal places. The stuff we know, let's take the stuff we know. I know I said infinite numbers are there between 2 and 3, but yeah, the most relevant decimal places, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, those stuff of relevant decimal places are there. So how the square of the number is found is basically 2 into 2 will give you 4. This is how you found the answer, found the square. So if we take 2.1, what will the answer be? 4.41. 2.2 into 2.2 will give you a 4.84. That's a square of 2.2. 2.3 square is 5.29. 2.4 square is 5.76. So basically, can you see? That's why we told that if you take a square root of 5, 6, 7, 8, of square root of 5, 6, 7, 8, or for all those four numbers, that will fall under between 2 and 3, because 2 square will be 4, 3 square will be 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8 will fall under between the 2 and 3 squares. Okay. So from the values, if you read this again, from the values in the right hand side, the two values that are closest to 5 are 4.84. This is something else, I feel. Anyways, let me do this. 4.84, 5.29. They are the squares of 2.2, 2.3 according to the above table. The squares of 4.84 and 5.29 are respectively 2.2. This can be written as, yeah, look at this. 4.84 can be, when you take the square root of 4.84, the answer is 2.2. When you take the square root of 5.29, the answer is 2.3. Now let us examine which value from 4.84 and 5.29 is closer to 5. When a person says find the square root of 5, what is the first step we are going to do? We are going to find the closest, the closest squares. If it's 5, if the closest numbers which have a square root, which have a perfect square root, which has a positive perfect square root, let's tell like that. If you take 5, if somebody asks for 5, it falls under 4 and 9. So it is closer to the 4 and 9. It should be between 4 and 9, because 2 and 3 are the only squares at the moment. So this should fall between the 2 point decimal places, 2.2 to 2.1 to 2.9, anything between. So when you now, what we have done is we have taken the squares of 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. We have written them down, and the answers show us that 4.84 and 5.29 are present. 4.84 and 5.29 are present. When 4.84 and 5.29 are present, what does this mean? 4.84 means the square of 2.2. 5.29 means the square of 2.3. And what do we have to find is the square root of 5. So square root of 5.29 is 2.3. 4.84 is 2.2. That means it is now closer to 5. So now we have to find what is the real square root of 5. So what can we do is now let us examine which value from 4.84 and 5.29 is closer to 5. What we do is simply find the differences. 5 minus 4.84 equals 0.16. 5.29 minus 5 equals 0.29. What they have done is taken the bigger number. It's simply the number line again. Simply the number line again. I still can remember we learned this number line when we were really small kids, and still during O levels we are using it. And I'm 100% sure in A levels there will be a time where you will have to explain it with the number line, because I'm not sure about that, because I'm a common student at the moment. I'm a management degree holder person. Anyways, I'm bloating a bit. Anyways, the total number is 5. 5 minus 4.84, the bigger number is 5. When you draw the number line, what happens is 5 will fall under here, 4.8984 will fall under here, 5.29 will fall under here. So what we're going to do is we should find the differences which is closer to 5. We are finding that 5.29 minus 5 will give you 0.29. 5 minus 4.84 will give you 0.16. According to the value that is closer to 5 is 4.84. Why is that? Because the difference, the smallest difference is 0.16. Hence, it is more closer to 5. Therefore, 2.2 can be taken as an approximate value for the square root of 5. This is something really important. This is where we are telling that we are not telling the real exact square root of 5. The exact square root of 5, let me show you in the calculator if I can. I'm pretty sure I can do that. The square root of 5, the real square root of 5 is 2.236. Okay, and here we are approximating it, and look what we found, 2.2, because 0.16, the closest to 5 is 4.84, because the difference is low. We have calculated 5 minus 4.84 and we have got 0.16. Hence, it is very closer to 4.84. Hence, we can take 2.2 as the approximate value of the square root for 5. We are not telling that is the exact square root of 5, but we are telling the approximate, and the exact square root of 5, if you saw it, it is 2.23666 something. That point, the other decimal places, we are not calculating. We are telling this 2.2 is the approximate value of the square root. So let me go through this again. What is the steps of doing this? There are only steps. Okay, there's only models in mathematics. I always say there's only models in mathematics. So let me show you the models again. Step one. What is step one? No, step one is our answering a question model. Exactly, answering a question model. My what we do when we are answering question is find what is in the question, what are they asking, and the values given in the question. And then the third one, the easy one, is what is it, the concept, the model. Now our model will be the approximation model, okay, not the other models. In square root, this the model one is approximation. That model, I'm talking about approximation model. That model does few steps. Step number one will be what is step number one? Step number one will be finding what they're asking. So if they ask the square root of 5, what we should do is find the closest, okay, remember as close, find the closest squares. If they ask for 5, the closest squares are the not the closest, yeah, it is the closest, but when you're taking 5, you should find both the greater one and the lower one. The 4 and 9 both should be found. So when you find those 4 and 9, what we should do is trace it back to their square roots. Trace it back to their, find the close and opposite positive ones, and then trace it back, close, trace it back. Then what do we do is we take the answers 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. The 4 will fall under 2. 4 square root of 4 will be 2. Square root of 9 will be 3. Okay. So what is the square root of 5 then? That will be 4. That will fall under 4 between 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 meaning any decimal out of these 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So what we do is multiply it. 2.1 into 2.1 will give you 4.41. 2.2 into 2.2 will give you 4.84. 2.3 into 2.3 will give you 5.29. So what happens here is very simple. Now what has happened here is we have found two squares, 4.84 and 5.29, but we haven't found 5. We have to find that 5. So now we know the closest are 4.84 and 5.29. Okay, 4.84 and 5.29. So what we do is those are the closest and those are the upper and the below values of 5. 4.84, 5.29. So now what we are finding is what is the most closest to it. How to find the closest is to subtract and find the differences. When you find the differences, it can be clearly seen that 5 minus 4.84 will give you 0.16, and that is the smallest difference. So hence, it will be the closest. So that value, that 4.84, the square root of 4.84, which is 2.2, can be approximated, not the real value, approximated as the square root, of 5. Simple as that. Anyways, now I will type this stuff in the recap session. Today I will be typing those the steps, because this is a very simple chapter and I don't want to mess it up. Yeah. Now we are moving on to the next one. I have to clear my drawings. Okay, similar manner, they have explained it again. Approximation to the first decimal place. This is very important. We are approximating it to the first decimal place. Okay. Approximation to the first decimal place or the square root of the given number. That is what we are doing to the first decimal place. We are not considering any other than that. When an approximate value is given the symbol, look at this symbol. Okay, remember this symbol. It's not equal. It's more of a wavy sign. Because we are approximating. We are not sure that 5. Square root of 5 is 2.2. We are just approximating, that is, it's closer to 2.2, hence we are approximating that as the answer. By providing reasons in a similar manner, we can conclude the approximation of square root of 6 to the decimal place 2.4. How is it done? Same way. 6 falls between, what are the two numbers? 4 and 9. The squares. Okay, remember the squares. Squares 4 and 9. That's how we're doing. Number 1, finding the closest mean the upper and the lower squares. 4 and 9 wala method tamai basically 16. What we are gonna do? Yeah, my Singlish is coming out now. I'm getting comfortable with you guys. It is between that. So what we are gonna do is trace it back to their square roots. 4 will give you 2 and 9 will give you 3. So definitely 6 higher තියෙන්න ඕනේ 2යි 3යි මැද. ඒ කියන්නේ high square root එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ 2යි 3යි මැද. So we will trace it back and like multiply those decimal places, the first decimal places multiplied, and get the approximately find an answer where find it and find the two closest to it. Most probably the approximation will come, and then subtract to find the closest out of those two, and you have the answer. Now this is a very good question. Example 1, this is very good, because if you are a person who doesn't know square root, this is a very good question to see first. Find approximate root 17 to the first decimal place. Okay, square root 17, not just root, square root 17 to the first decimal place. How are we going to do this? Step number 1, finding the squares upper and lower between 17. We have 25 and 16. Then finding the square roots 4 and 5. 16 wala 4, 25 wala 5. Now we know that square root of 17 will fall between this 4 and 5. Square root of 17 will fall under 4 and 5. 4 between 4 and 5. What we are going to do now is, wait, I will clear it again. What we are going to do it now, to find an approximate value close to 17, let us check whether 17 is closer to 16 or 25. So this approximation is done the other way. From the other side, it shows the squares wala difference. 16 and 17 is 1, 17 and 25 is 8. 1 and 8. So what is closer? 16 is much more closer. The square number 16 is much closer. 17 is closer to 16 than 25. So root 17 is a value closer to 4. But yeah, so why they have taken is, yes, this is why I told this is a very good one, because why they have taken, that is very essential to know why they have taken that that part, why they have to find an approximate model. Let us check what is closer. Why have they done 16 is closer to 17 by 1, 17 is 20, 17 and 25 is 8, because earlier the decimal place, when you're finding a decimal place, you can then be close when the difference is 1 here, when the difference of the square is 1, that means it is closer to the square 16, no? That's square number 16. So square root of 4 value we are approximating that too. So we can't check everything. 4.1 inang 4.9 multiply you will lose a lot of time. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna that is another step to be added actually. So we will check the differences there, and then we will trace back to the square roots and find the decimals and apply it and see to the decimals. Like if it's 4.1, 4.1 in 4.1 square will give you 16.8, for the 4.2 will give you 17.6, for the we will trace it back. So when you trace it back, we will find that 16.81 එකක් දෙනවා, 4.1 කියන එක 16.81 දෙනවා, 4.2 කියන එක 17.64 දෙනවා. 17, that means 17 should fall between 4.1 and 4.2. How to find what is the approximated square root of 17 is 17 minus 16.81 17.64. Now we are doing the difference again. 17.64 minus 17. This will give you 0.64. Hence, this will give you 0.64. But this will give you around first approximation. This will give you around 8.1. That will give around 19, 0.19 the cohe. I'm not sure. Yeah, it should give you 0.19. This is much closer. So your answer will be 4.1. First approximation is 4.1. First approximation is 4.1. The steps are very easy. So let me do this bigger sum, and let's do this only because others you can try it at home, because I need you to do a bigger sum, and let's get on with the past papers and see what's happening. Root 1070. What are the now? How are we going to find that? Now you should know your values, like what are the closest through 1070. You should know, like, what are the closest. The issue of this approximation method is you should know your squares very well. I mean, if the number is big, you should know your squares very well. 1070. Anyways, I will tell you the steps. You find what is closer to 1070. Okay. This is a square. Okay. This is a square. Now what we should do, step number 1, find what is closer to these two. 1070. 100 in 25 into 25 will give you 625. 26 into 26 will give you 676. So no, it's not closer to that. But 40 into 40 will give you around 1600. That means it's lesser than 40. How about 35 into 35? That will give you 1225. 30 into 30 will give you 900. There you go. Now we are getting to some point. This will give you 30 will give you 900. 35 will give you 1235. 35 will give you 1225. 31 will give you 961. 31 961. 32 will give you 1024. 33 will give you 1089. 1089. Anna pahuna. Harine da pitamurani. Exactly. 1089 and 1025. 1070. What first step number 1. Okay, let me make this model very clear now. Step number 1, what we are going to do when somebody says find the square root of this value, what we are going to do is find the squares, nothing else. Close your ears and all. Find the squares of squares which is higher and lower to you, and those are 1024. 1024 is 32 into 32, as I believe. 1024. then you write it down like this. 1024 is lesser than 1070. Then 33 will give you 1089. Anyways, yeah, write it down like that. Now we put the square root. 1024 will give you how much? 1024 will give you 32. This make a square root kara. We may square root kara make a square root kara when known a method 1070. 1089 square root karama in known here. 1089 square root kara when known a 33. So whatever this value, the value should be falling under this the square root. The square root 1070 will fall between 32 and 33, the square roots. So that means a decimal place make a decimal place decimal place game model how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Simply what we are going to do first, now we have to find whether it's closer to 33 or 32, or else we will be multiplying it forever. There are 9 numbers, 3.1, 3.2, 32.1, 32.2, 32.3. There are 9 digits. We don't need to multiply everything every time. So what we are going to do is find what is closer. 1070, 1089. What is the difference between 1089 and 1070? 1089 minus 1070. Step number 2 will give you 19. 1070 minus 1024. 1070 minus 1024 will give you around 46. So you see this is closer. So we are going for the 33 after 3.5 this 3.5 start with 3.9. 3.9 is square. Simple as that. 3.9 into 3.9 will give you 15 point. Sorry. That's an error. 32.9. 32.9 into 32.9. That will give you 1082. 32.9. 0.9 no 0.9 will give you 1082.41. 1082.4 him who 0.8 it was 1075. Now that is very close. 1075.8. Then 0.7 0.8, 0.7, 1069. That's perfect. Why am I saying perfect? The reason why I'm saying perfect, now what we did, step number 1, we found the squares between the value we should find the square root 4, and then what we did was trace it back to the square roots, and we found the differences between the two 1089 minus 1070 to find what is closer. We found that 1089 is closer to 1070. Hence what we are going to do is make a mere guess that the fact that the square root 1070, the value of square root 1070 will fall between 32 and 33, but that will fall more closer to 33. Hence what we did first was take 32.9, the square of 32.9. The first square of 32.9 is 1082.4. Square of 32.8 is 1075.8. The square of 32.7 is 1069.2. So what are the two closest? Are 1075 and 1069. Yeah, 1082 දුර වැඩි. මොකද මේ 1070 1070 1069.2 and 1075.8 are the closest. So now what are we going to do? Now what we are going to do is find what is more closer, 1075.8 the closer to 1070 or 1069.2 the closer. 1069.2 gatto 1069.2 gatto. How to find this? What is closer? Make x nang x minus 1069, x minus 1069. නැත්තම් 1070 minus මෙතන 0.2 again no minus 1075.8. I'm x minus කියලා ගත්ත because I know the value this is much more closer 1070 ට ළඟයි කියලා හොඳට පේනවා. 4.5 that is 0.8 වල difference එකක් තියෙන. මෙතන this will give you a 0.8 difference. This is much closer. This value is much closer than this value. Hence we will approximately tell the fact that 0.7 32.7 32.7 will be the square root of 1070. That I have done the biggest sum in your textbook exercise. Basically that is approximation method. Hope you guys understood it. 32.7 it will be a square root of 1070. Okay, then now we will move on to the next one, the division method. I will explain in this because my presentation has these slides, but it's the same thing. I haven't told anything new, so I will explain with this straight away. Okay, let me take a small break. The division method, this is a good method because you saw the fact that without a calculator, knowing the fact that the squares between 1070 was 1033, the fact that knowing the closest squares are these and these, that was really hard. You in life you don't need to remember everything. What you have to remember, there are stuff to remember and there are stuff not to remember. So there should be a more convenient method to remember stuff, or else so this method is much more better. Let us now consider a method. Okay, let's read it. Let us now consider the method of finding the square root of any positive number. This method is called the division method. Let us study this method by considering several examples. Find the square root of 1764. Yeah, example number 1. There are a few steps in it. Like I said, even the approximation method had some steps. They haven't explained it properly, but I in my lesson I taught it very well. Hope you guys understood it. If there is any question, always please contact us. You can contact us through our YouTube channel comment section. You can contact us through our Instagram, our Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. We are there to help you because we believe in the fact that sharing knowledge, what we have learned. We are not professionals at all. There are stuff I don't know. I'm not a professional teacher at all. I don't know how to teach. I don't know how psychology works or anything. I'm just sharing my knowledge. And when we did all of us in 2014. So it's been a long time, and I might be rusty and all. I mean, my knowledge must be rusty and all. I'm trying my best. If there are mistakes, there can be mistakes, of course, but I'm trying my best to give you something. Hope you guys understood it. If there's any question, please let us know, because asking a question is the best part, not understanding. I mean, at once every one thing's understanding at once is the best. No, asking a question and getting it wrong is the best. What I feel is when you get something wrong, you will forever remember it. That's why that's what we were taught back in the day. That's what we thought. That's what I was taught back in the day. Not everyone. Even our people have to gila gahan nahi over karan. Anyways, now we are moving on to the division method. Hope you guys got the approximation method. I will recall it in the chapter the end. Let's move on to the division method. So what is this division method? Find the square root of 1764. Separate 1764 as shown below by grouping the digits 1764 in pairs starting from the unit's position and proceeding towards the left. What they have done is in step 1, they have taken the number 1764 and divided it like this. Divided means not the real division, but just taken it apart. 17 as one digit and 64 as one digit. Find the perfect square number. So step 2 says find this perfect square number which is closest to the leftmost digit or pair of digits of the separated number, and as indicated below, write its square root above and to left drawn lines. What they have done now is find the perfect square number which is closest, which is closest to the leftmost digit. They have separated it, and after that they have put it under the division sign, and මෙන්න මෙහෙම දාලා 1764 කියලා දාලා ලස්සනට දාලා 70. එතකොට මේක වෙන්නේ 17. Okay, this is 17. What is the square root of 17? We don't know the square root of 17, but you can't apply saying we learned it back in the approximation method as this 3.2 as I remember. We can't put that. We have to put 4 because 4 what the longer closest is 4. 4 into 4 16, and hence we will put 4. Then write down the product 4 into 4 of the number above and to the left of the lines below the number 17 as indicated, and subtract it from 17. Basically do the division. May make 64 ගැන හිතන්න එපා මේ වෙලාව. Write 4, then your square number. Square එක තමයි මෙතන ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. 4 into 4 16. That 1 remaining. Now carry down the next 2 digits to 64. Basically take these two 64. Take these two numbers below. Then it will come as 164. What do we do after that? It was 164 simply as that. Now next write on the left as shown below the digit 8, which is 2 times the number above the line, leaving space for another number to be written. So what we do is take 4 into 2 will give you 8. Write 8 here and keep space for another number. That into this will give you 164. We are thinking like that. So let's move on. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm also excited to learn what's going to happen here. After that, the same digit should be written above the line to the right of 4 and in the space left. In the positions on the left, this digit should be selected so that the product of this digit and the number is obtained on the left when this digit is written in the unit's position. In this case 82 is equal to 164 is close. Equal to 164 or is the closest number less than 164 that is obtained in the manner. We can't put anything above 160. That is very much it should be very clearly mentioned that the fact that it cannot be above 164. So what we have done is take what we have done up to now is taking number one is when they gave us the number 1764. We separated those two 17 and 64 to two sides, and we know that 16, square root of 16 is 4, and 16 is closer to 17, the closest to the 17, and below 17, not above. We can't put anything above. So below 17 තියෙන එක 16 16 එන්නේ කොහොමද 4 into 4 එතන දැම්මා. Done. Okay, 4 into 4 dala. If you got the 16, then one remaining 64 came down. So now we have to find 164. For that first step, what we do is first fill this. This comes as a result of 4 into 2. Why is that? That is the method. They are saying always multiply by 4 into 2. Twice the number of the first thing is 4. Is the value we should put here. That will give you 8. Then what is the number here? What is the number we should put here? That should be the product. Meaning the method me blank එක තියලා දිනවා කියන්නේ it will become 80 something, no? 80 into 80 or 81 into 81 or 82 into 82 කියන එක තමයි මෙතන ගන්න. Okay? So what we are going to do is 82 into 82 will give you 82 into 2 will give you 164. And now here we put 4 into 4 as 16. 4 into 2 මෙතන දෙක වැඩි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනින් කෙලින්ම දානවා 82 into 2. That will give you 164. What we have to know is the fact that I'm confusing you guys. So I'm confusing you guys. 1764, we separated it 1764. 1700 ළඟ මොකක්ද 16. 16 වල square root එක මොකක්ද 4. We put 4. And for the next one we get 164. We have to find the value of 164. කොහොමද ඒක බෙදන්න පුළුවන් මෙතනදී? How to find that is step number 1 is අර උඩ තියෙන digit එක 4. අපි බෙදුව digit එක. අන්න ඒ digit එක multiplied by 2 and it will give you 8. And leave a blank කියලා කියනවා. Why are we leaving a blank? Because we are saying the fact that this 164 and 164 divided by some number will give a value between 80 to 89. ඔන්න උතන කියන එක තමයි කියන්නේ basically. Between 80 to 89 value එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. When you divide 164 by 1, it will be when you divide 164 by 2, it will give around 80 82 and ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි කිව්වේ. So we have to find what it for like where it falls. Either it's 80 into 80 will give you 80 into 0 will give you 0. That will be wrong. 81 it should be 1 then. I'm sorry about that. 81 into so 81 into 1 will give you 81. 82 into 2 will give so what's happening is 81 into 1 will give you 81. It's not 164. 82 into 2 will give you 164. So we put that at 0. What we should remember here is not always this will come, not always 164 the value will be completed. Whatever closest to it, whatever closest and lower than that, we should put there and say that the square root of 1764 will be 42. Now put that with it might be confusing, so I will go to the go to the next sum. Let's take this 3.64, a very smaller value. So how are we going to find 3.64? 3.64, what is closer to 3? 2 them not 4, that is ready. In this 3 wala square root එක තමයි මේ හොයන්නේ. එතකොට 4 වල square root එක 2. Then 1 is the most closest. 4 කියන එක වැඩි. ඒක දාන්න බෑ. So 1 into 1 will give you 1. Then 3 minus 1 will give you 2. And then 61 will fall here. Point එක ගැන හිතන්න එපා මෙතනදී. Please don't think about the point. point එක අපි කෙලිම නිකන් මෙතන point එක දාලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මෙතන 1 දැම්මම ඊට පස්සේ 1 point කියලා දාන්න. Then it will be correct. Then 1.9 is මෙතන 1.9 වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? 1 ගත්තා. මෙන්න මේක මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න මේ step එක මතක තියාගන්න. 1 into 2 will give you 2. 2 ලිව්වා මෙතන හිස් තැනක්. ඒ හිස් තැන පුරවන එක තමයි ගේම් එක මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. ඒ ගේම් එකේදී 29 20 something will give you the value. 21 into 1 21, 22 into 2 44. So no. එහෙනම් ඒක පොඩිනේ. ඒතකොට අපි අනිත් පැත්තෙන් බලමු. එහෙම තමයි. බල හැමතිස්සෙම මේ ඕඩර් එකකට යන්න එපා. Check whatever which is closer. Always try to see what is closer. 261 නම් 29 into 9. එතකොට 261. 29 into 9 will give you 261. Put that 0 0. So your square root will be 1.9. පේනවනේ. ලොකු දෙයක් නෑ. Okay. Now make වෙනසකට තියෙන්නේ if you can see it's a bigger number. It's a bigger number. 2737. We have divided into two parts, separated into two parts, found the lower closest square, and we have put 525 remaining, and මෙතන multiplication එක කරලා මෙතන මේ value එක හොයාගෙන මෙතනට දාලා ඔන්න මොමට ගහලා යනකොට if you want we have taken the zeros to make it the normal division method. Okay, I mean the normal division method I don't need to teach here. So basically they have taken it from that and they have found 57. I wanted to but show you that the next step always you have to multiply by 2 to find this digit first. After that the last digit 231 into 2 will give you 10,462. මේක මෙහෙම දිගේ වණ ඔයගොල්ලෝ මම හිතන්නේ ඇයි කියලා අපිට නම් ආවේ නෑ. Let's do an easy one or a hard one. Let's do a okay, let's do one of this. Let's take 19 one. How to do the 19 one? Write 19, divide it. Then digits they got 1 maybe digits they got 19 එක පුරවන්න හදන්න එපා. 1 1 එතකොට මෙතන 0 මෙතන 9 එනවා මෙතන 2 එන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න මෙතන digit එකක් දාන්න. 9 එන්න නම් මෙතන 3 දැම්ම නම් හරි. එහෙම දාන්න බෑ. What I'm saying is I'm sorry, I was recording. It was recording. 19, we have taken 19, square root of 19. So we have first of all step 1, separate the two digits, and we have found the square root of 1 is 1 and the square of 1 is 1. So basically we have put 1 and found that this is 0. We have taken this down 9 and මෙතනදී 1 into 2 කරලා මෙතන මේ digit එක අපි හොයාගත්තා. The next digit we should find what is the value to give 9. What is the value to give 9? No, the thing is a bit wait, give me a second. Today I'm not in the best mood there, even though I said I was excited, I was trying. It should work usually. Let's take 26 a bit. I'm not sure about that. The first one I was not sure. 26 and 26 we will separate it first. And what is closer to 2? 2 is 1. Then 1 remaining and 16. Method value of 16 දාන එක තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වුණාට මෙතන 2 වලින් multiply වෙන නිසා we can't put it like that. That is very unfair. If so, you have put it like that, then 16 වලට මෙතන 4 දැම්මොත් no, yeah. Then 14 month, 14 into 14, what is that? 14 into 14 will give you 196, not 26. So that's why it's wrong. Anyways, so what we are going to put here should equal to 16. 20 something will give you wait a minute. Why is this wrong according to you guys? Because I'm trying to do the division method to sums which are closer to 25. Like approximation method lazy. I'm not sure whether we have to do the but the both methods should be the same as far as I know. The both methods should equalize the same amount. They are saying 26 to divided by 2, but it should be closer to 5. Let's do this. Let's do a bigger one. Yeah, let's do this first. 2700. I'm sorry, but no, the thing is, I will check on with it, or else you can do it by approximation method. Approximation method, it's a very simple sum when it comes to approximation method, because 26 will fall between 25 and 36, which will give you 5 square. 26 root 36 is 6. So when you divide it by this difference is 1. This is very closer to, so some value closer to 5 will be the answer. So 5.1 into 5.1, what is the value? 5.1 into 5.1 will give around 26.01. It will be very close, 26.01, but that is the other way. 26.01. 5 into 5 will be 25. So the difference between here and here are difference between 26 minus 25, these two will be 1. 26.01 minus 20, that will be 0.01, these two. So this difference is very smaller. So we are saying 5.1 is the most approximated value for 26. The square root of 26 we can take as 5.1. Simple as that. But I wanted to show it through the decimal method, the dividing method. But I feel there was some mistake in it. I felt a mistake. The approximation method, that is how you do it. Let's move on to a bigger sum with the division method and end this part and move on to the next part. I have taken 2745, divided into 2 parts, separated into 2 parts, 27 and 45. And what is the value closest to 27 is 25. So we put 5 and 5, 25. 7 minus 5 will give you 2, and 245. Take both, okay? Take both at once. Always take both at once. Then some value into 10. Make an method 5 into 2 එක හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. 5 into 2 will give you 10 something. 101 or 102 or 103 into 109 or something into some value should give you 245. So we have to find 100 into 101 into 1 will give you 101. 101 into 2 will give you 202. 202, you know. 101 into 3 will give you 303. So what is closer? We always take the lower one, not the bigger one, 202. So we take this one, 102. 102 then method 2 and that will give you around give me the eraser to do this part. What else will that will give you 245 minus 102 will give you 143. And we always can put zeros and take it down, take it down to more, and because this will now be point something, 52 point something with the zeros. Put 2 zeros at once. That's the method. Put 2 zeros at once. Usually we put 2 zeros, as I remember. Yes, we put 2. Usually we put 2 zeros. What is this? 2007. Yes. 14,300 will be should be divided. So how are we going to do that? 102 into 2 will give you 204. 204 something will into this should give you the answer. So 241 2041 into 1 will be 2041. So that's wrong. 2000. This is very big. This is a very big number, 14,300. So it should be a bigger number. Let's try the other way. 2041 into 9, how much? 18,369. That is very big. So into 8, 16,328. That is too big. 7, 14,287. That is very close. We write that. 287. 2000. 102 into 202. Yeah, did I do a mistake there? Here I did a mistake. At this moment I did a mistake, but 245 minus 204 will give you 41. Oh my god. Yeah, I have done a big mistake. I was wondering though. Okay, I have done a big mistake there. It will give you 41 because it's 204. Yeah, just check those numbers. Those will go wrong. 45, 245 minus 204. This should be 204 because 102 into 2, 204. 245 minus 202, 204 will give you 41. So 4,100 is the answer you should find. So how are we going to do that? The answer is a very, 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 very vast answer. Just give me a minute. I'm wrong. Yes, I'm very, very wrong. You have to do this, okay? This is a very good part. That's why I got it wrong. I got the whole thing wrong. 2745 separated into two. These are two separate figures. Then what we are going to do is find the closest to this. There will be 5. 5 into 5 will be 25. Then 75 will give you 2. 245 is your answer. Find the value for that. 5 into 5 is, so 5 into 2, this should be multiplied. This value should be multiplied. At this moment, this value should be multiplied by 2. That will give you 10. 10 in something will give you 245. What is that amount? 101, 102 into 2 will give you 204. 103 to 103 into 3 will give you 309. That is very bigger. So 102 is your answer. 102 into 2 will give you 204. So 541, 41. Here we have 41 when 102 into 2. So now after that we will put the decimal points to carry it on after here. We'll see how this goes, at least to one decimal place here. So after that, this part is where I went wrong earlier. So listen up. I also went wrong because I was not prepared perfectly. I was not remembering it perfectly. 52. Now what we're going to do is take 52 and multiply it by 2. 52 into 2 will give you 104. Put 104 here. Take this whole thing and multiply it by 2. That's what we're going to do. That will give you 104. 104 something will give you 41,000. 4,100, sorry. 104, let's say 1,041 will give you 1,041 basically. 1,042 will give you into 2 will give you 2,084, but this we need is 4,100. Let's take 3 and see. 3,126. Let's take 4 and see. 4,168. So that is more, that is higher. So we have to take the 3 to 1,042. 43 into 3, sorry. 43 into 3, 3,100 and 3,129. That will give you 10, 9, 1, 9, 2, 7. So that will give you 971. So we don't need to find it after here because the value of this is 1,043 into 3. So that the square root is 52.3. Let's check with our answer. 52.3 into 52.3. What is the answer? 2,735.29. It is not very close, but we have done it at least 270.35. Yeah, that is closer. And that can be taken closer. That is plus or minus 10. Closer to 10. That is good. Anyways, this is what the division method is. If we can take the 26 and see what happened, what happened was 26 2 6 1 1, that will give you 1, that is another 16. 1 into 2 will be this answer. 2 into something, 21 into 1 will give you 21. Yeah, that there is an error with this part. We can't use the division method here. I feel that is why here it will come, it will always be bigger than 1, uh, and it's the approximation method is much more better here. Let's move on to the third part of this whole session. This went to around 1 hour, I think now, because I thought it would go very short. Yeah, I got a bit stuck. Using the square root of numbers to solve the problems, find the length of a side of a square of area 441 centimeters squared. Area of the square is side, yeah, basically how it is. Area of a square normally is length side of a length square gram, you will get the area of the square. Therefore the length of that thing will be square root. Find the square root of 441. We can't use the approximation method, so we use the long division method, the division method. 441, divide it, always divide it. How we have divided it 2 to 4. Yeah, so basically this is the whole chapter. Anyways, I feel I'm not very good with the square root part in explaining today. I don't know why. 441. That's what we should find, the area of the squares. It says 441. So find the length. They said that means the square root of the length. So they have done the long division method, and they have look at this. They have separated it and gone for the 4 0. Then here it's 2. So they have multiplied by 2 and taken the 4 and checked how are they going to do it. Kila bala like 41 now, they will give you 41 0, then square root is 21 perfectly. The 324 square shaped garden tiles of area 900 centimeters square each have been placed in a square shaped courtyard so that the courtyard is completely covered with the tiles. Find the length of a side of the courtyard 324. So basically now you can see that this square root chapter, this whole chapter is not for it won't be tested individually except for that part A question. This will be tested more in area questions like this. It's a method which helps you. The long division method can help you. The approximation method can help you to do the sum perfectly. That's what this chapter is all about. That's why I said it's a very short chapter. 324 square shaped garden tiles of area 900 centimeters squared, which have been placed in a square shaped courtyard so that the courtyard is completely covered with the tiles. Find the length of a side of the courtyard. So 324 square. First of all, read the question, find what is given in the question, find what they ask for in the question, and match the concept. That is our model. That's our model of answering any question. 324 square shaped garden tiles of area 900 centimeters. 324 square shaped garden tiles of my area 900, and each have been placed. So basically, have been placed in a square shape anyways, is completely covered with the. Find the length of side of the courtyard. Find the length of the side of the courtyard. The number of garden tiles one row. The number of garden tiles in one row, because So basically 324 square shaped garden tiles of area 9 have been placed in a square shape. This whole thing is covered with 324 tiles. So which are 900 centimeters square. 900 centimeters square. Area is 900 centimeters square. So to find the length of a garden tile that is square root of 900. Why is that? Because x into, now if you take a square, x into x will give you the area, because all four sides are equal. X into x will give you length into breadth, usually gives you the area. So x into x, as both are equal, it will be a square. So 900 well, square root so somehow that's 300 basically, 30 basically. You will get the length of a garden, you will get x. So now they are saying the number of a garden tile in one row is 324. In one row, to find the in one row the number of garden tiles in one row can there are 324 in a square no? Can squares 324 තියෙනවලු එක big square එක. එතකොට how are they going to find how many garden tiles are in one row? That is taking the square. Again, we get the x amount of x amount of tiles are there in a row. මේ පැතරත් x 324 square මේ පැතරත් x. So x into x will give you 324 what tiles. So find that x කියන එක තමයි එතන one row වල එක හොයන්න they have taken the square root. So 18. Then after that, the length of a side of the courtyard will be because the garden tile like a length එක හොයුවා, garden tile එකේ length එක හෙව්වා, tile කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා හෙව්වා, මේකේ දුර එතකොට මෙහෙම garden tile එකේ මෙන්න length එක හෙව්වා, කොච්චර තියෙනවද කියලා හෙව්වා. එතකොට මේකේ මුළු දුර හොයන්න පුළුවන්. That will be the length of the size of the courtyard. Okay, hope you guys understood that. That was yeah, so these exercises are for your homework kind of thing. If there's any question you can ask from me, but I will do one question for you guys. One question. A rectangular walkway has been made by I will do this last one. A rectangular walkway has been made by placing 10 flat square shaped concrete slabs of 200 rows along 200 rows. A rectangular, okay, this is not a square. A rectangular walkway has been made by placing 10 flat square shaped concrete slabs along 200 rows. Okay, so just draw the image, draw the concept, draw the mind map kind of thing. The map, the item, 200 rows are there. In that 10 flat square shaped 200 rows. If the area of the flat surface of a concrete slab, what is the length and the breadth of the walkway? Okay. මට තේරුණා. 10 flat squares. Okay. What is the length and the breadth of the walkway? They're asking. It is very similar to the example question we did. Basically, they have given the area of a flat surface of a concrete slab as 231.04. Find the square root of it. Then we will get the length. Of a concrete slab of that concrete slab, and as there are 200 rows, I don't get that 200 rows, that mind map perfectly, but when you take the answer of this, it will come as around 231.04. will give you the amount will give you around 15.2 okay. So 15.2 will be your length. 15.2 flats of that small 15.2 will be your length of the concrete slab. Then by placing 10 flat square shaped concrete slabs along 200 rows, I think the idea of what they're saying is there are 10 of these in 10 like this. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 10 in 200 like that. Then that will give you, yeah, that is what they're saying. 10 flat will be 10 flat square shaped concrete slabs around 200 rows are here. So 200 rows are there, so that will be around 200, no, not 200, 15.2 මේක මෙන්න මේකේ දැන් අපි හොයාගත්ත මේ ස්ලැබ් එකක එක පැත්තක්, the length of a slab, so that will be 15.2 no? That 15.2 into 15.2 into මේ පැත්ත ගත්තොත් මේ හිතනවා length කියනවා කර length හරි breadth හරි ගත්තොත් එක පැත්තක් will be මේකේ 200, අනිත් පැත්තේ will be there will be 10 of those 10 of those slabs, right? This side will have 200, this side will have 10. That's how the rectangle is made. So 200 into 15.2 and 10 into 15.2 will be your answer. 152. Because okay, there are 10 slabs like this, 10 parts like this on one side of this rectangle. On the other side there are 200 rows which have these slabs. There are 200 rows. So one slab length side length 15.2 as it is a square. This is 15.2 any side, this side, this side. So basically 15.2 into 10 will give you the length or it will give you the breadth of the runaway, walkway. And the 200 into 15.2 will give you the length of it. So basically there's 152 plus 200 into 15.2 will give you around 3,192. 3,192 basically. That is how you find the answer. Hope you guys got it. That's why I said this is a very easy sum that also we have done now. Now I will share my presentation back again, so we can move on to the final stuff. The final stuff. Yeah, the final stuff. We have done the square root of a positive number. We have done the division method. We have done the application method. Application of it. We have done to do the first term test, 2018 Western Province first term test part A question. What are they asking for? The most suitable value for root 7 is, what is the most suitable value for root 7? What is the most suitable value for root 7? So root 7, how are we going to do this? 7 falls between what two numbers? 9 square guy 4 4. Yeah, so 4. But what is it closer to? Methana difference 3, 7 minus 4 3, 9 minus 7 2. Okay, so 9 minus 7 2. So now we take the square roots. 2 root 7 method 3. So 2 method make this is closer. 9 to 7 is closer. So we are taking 2.9. So basically this is between the 2 and 3. Whatever this decimal, whatever it is gonna come, it should fall under this between this. So it should be 2.9 into 2.9 අපි එතකොට බලනවා මොකක්ද එන්නේ උත්තරේ 2.9 into 2.9 is 8.41 2.8 into 2.8 is 7.84 ඒකත් වැඩි but now 7.84 is close that is 2.8 ඒකින්ද හොඳට ඒක මතක තියාගන්න now 2.7 into 2.7 I'm using the approximation method, okay? Will give you 7.29. That is also closer to the 28 better. 2.8 better. 2.7 is better. 2.6 into 2.6 will give you 6.76. Okay, that means method 2.6, you know. So root 7 should fall be either 2.7 or 2.6. So what is close again? By subtraction, by the differences. 7.29, 7.29, 7.29 7.29 7.29 minus 7 කරාම 0.29 6.76 okay difference gamu 7.7 minus 6.76 you can't use calculators. I'm just using it because I need to be fast to end this now. 0.24. So 0.24 is closer. 2.6 is your answer, and your answer is there. But 2.7 would be. This is your approximation method. You know, you don't need to use the long division method. This is a very simple sum. You can use the approximation method here. That is how you find the answer. Now we move on. This is 2 marks of your first term examination on 2018 Western Province. If you did your first term examination 2018. Yeah. Next question will be this one. 2019 Western examination, Western Province examination. They are asking underline the value of root 42 for the first approximation. Now this is a good one. It says first approximation. Can you remember what first approximation was? First approximation was means you should use the approximation method, yeah. To the or more simply, we're saying that use the that thing. Yeah, sorry about that. I hope you guys can see the slides and all. Yeah, perfectly. Yes. Let's go to the drawing tool. Yeah, root 42. So they say first approximation. So we are gonna find the first approximation. Find between root 42. 42 other 42 other. What is closer to 42? 36, 6 into 6 is 36. 7 into 7 is 49. So 49 and 36 are your closest upper and lower values. So we are finding now the square root. This is 6. This is root 42. This is 7. What is closer? 9 minus 2, 7. 42 over 6, it should be 6. It's very actually closer, no? I mean, these two values are very close, so it's we have to do a bit in between. It will be around. This will be anyways. This value for root 42 will between. It will be between 6 and 7. So which decimal places is the question? 6.1 if we can move on to 6.3 sort of stuff, it will be better. Let's take 6.3. 6.3 into 6.3 will give you 39.69. 39.69. 6.3. 6.4 will give you 40.96. 6.4. The method values 6.3, 6.4, 6.5, 6.6. Always look at your question. Huh? The answers if they are given answers like that, 6.3, the 6.4, the 6.5, 6.6, the 6.9 find those 5. 6.4 6.5 into 6.5, 42.25. So now we have two answers here. 42.25, the 40.96 the beginning. When we are taking the square root, we have to find the differences. When we are finding the difference, ladies and gentlemen, 42 minus 40.96 will give you 1.04, and here the difference will be 42.25 minus 42, 0.25. So 0.25 is your answer, because this is very much closer. The difference is smaller. It is very much closer. 6.5 is your answer. Okay, we have done that also. So that brings to an end. We have done 2 past paper questions. You have collected 4 marks out of both past papers, but actually two marks from each past paper. Anyways, we have completed that, and now we are moving on to today's daily recall, important recall of the day. What did we do? Let's go to the beginning. Chapter 2, square root. What we did was the square root of a positive number. The first step was square root of a positive number. We now know what is a square root. We now know what is a square, and we found the square root using 2 methods. Number 1 was finding it with the approximation method. We found with a method with it was more of an approximation. We can't guess, we can't tell what's the exact value, but it's a better approximation actually. Then we did the second method, which is the division method. The division method is very, very important. Even though approximation method was asked in both past papers, this method is very better to do bigger sums like 1764 kind of sums. It is much better. Then we moved on to using this in finding area, volume related applications, because that is the ultimate thing in this chapter. Meaning this chapter, as I said in the beginning, I said this, now I'm saying this chapter is about applying it. It is about not just getting a value. That value to get the value, that question there will be only one question to ask in the square root of a value, and that will be an easy question. That will be in part A. But if you're doing the area sum in your first term examination or in your O levels, if you're doing that sum, there will be a big area sum to solve. The square root will be there, and you have to use this. You can now use it. This is the, ladies and gentlemen, the square root chapter of your grade 10 mathematics. And with that, we did the 2 past paper, 2018 Western Province and 2019 first term examinations. Now, the important recall, meaning, let me give you the 2 methods we did. There are these 2 are the stuff you should write down in your theorem book. The long division method, LD method, and the approximation method, AM method. Let's give you names like that. The AM method, say what we do is, when they ask for the square root of x, what we do, find they will say find the square root of x. What we do is take x and find the closest above and below squares. Let's say if it is 42, 49 and 36 are the squares. So we write those 2 squares, 49, 36, and then we take the square roots of it. 6 root x 7, and then what we do is what do we do? Then what we do is first of all find the difference between these 2. If the difference is closer to 36, if this difference is much more closer, we should take some anyways. Now okay, wait, I'm sorry. This is the approximation method. This method will work. How it works is they will say to find the square root of x of any number. So when you are finding the square root of x or any number, what we should do, we should write it down like this. 36 and 49, or the above and the below number, below squares, and then we bring it down, trace it back to the square roots, 6 and 7 if it's 36 and 49. Then what we do is find the differences between 36 and the value and 49 and the value. Then we will check what is higher and what is smaller. When then take what is smaller, the difference is small, the one which has the difference which is smaller is the value we should consider. We take that, and then we know the fact that this root x will fall between 6 and 7. Any decimal number closer to 6 will be the answer, because we said that 36 and x are very close. So 6.1, we are going to check 6.1. What is 6.1 into 6.1? What is the answer? 6.2 into 6.2. What is the answer? And if the questions has given some answers, we are only doing those answers. We are only multiplying those answers to find the answer. And then after that, we will get, we should find two decimal place decimal numbers, two numbers with decimals like this, 6.1 and 6.2, let's say, for an example. And then what we do is multiply those 6.1 and find the squares actually, and you will get an answer. Then find what is the closest. If the difference is smaller, that is the closest to your x value, then that will be your answer. That is the approximation method. Then we came to the long division method, where first what we did was take a number, separate into two, then multiply it by a square. Let's say if it's 5, we are multiplying it by 5 here. 5 into 5, 25, and we are putting some value here, I mean the difference, and bringing x down. Then after that, always remember here, what we are multiplying here is not this, but this. Okay, what we are multiplying is 5. 5 into 2 give you 10. Then 10 something, 101 or 101 101 into 1, put 101. That's how you get the answer. Then we will get some answer like this. Let's say there's another answer. What we should do is take 51, the whole 51, and multiply by 2. That will give you 2 into 10, 102 something, and apply that value here and keep it going. That's the long division method. So we learned two different methods. Hope you guys understood the try to use the approximation method more, because if it's a smaller one, if it's a bigger one, try to use the long division method. This is the end of the chapter basically. Anyways, hope you guys understood. Today the lesson was a bit it is short, but it was a bit rusty. I felt that I was prepared, yet it was a bit rusty. I felt that. Anyways, there are two methods. That's what you should remember. These two are the methods. Use these two to find the square root when they ask, or even in questions such as area, you can use this. So last time we did perimeter, and now we are done with square root. We did two past paper questions. Hope this was amazing. I think I mean, come on, we did a great job actually. Like if we check, always remember this this method is still, as I say, this method is very clear and much better. What the question asks, always look for what the question asks. What are the information given in the question? Always look even at the answers. What are they giving us? And then the formulas and theorems. There are two theorems in what we learned today. There is the long division method and the approximation method. What is better to use at the moment? If it's a small number, use the approximation method and find the answer. If they say even if it's the first approximation, you should use the first approximation method and find the answer. And basically we did the content related to positive number approximation, division method, then we use the square roots in the area and problems, and we did the past paper 2 questions, and that's it for the day. Basically you earned minimum or maximum, it might be maximum too, but the square root questions sometimes there will the area questions sometimes there will be a square root part where you have to solve it, so there's more. That's why I said minimum 2. uh, that's it for the day. Thank you so much for joining. Let me stop sharing for a while. Okay, so let me end this now. It was really an honor to do this. Honestly, as a Rotaract Janit Vikramasuriya, this is for me. It's really an honor to uh, do this project, Road to A Plus, and give you share my knowledge with regard to grade 10 mathematics. I'm not a professional anyway. I'm not a professional or anything. I'm just trying to share my knowledge. Hope you guys understood. If there's any question you can ask, always please ask. There's nothing more better to me than asking a question. And if there are doubts, you can ask me. Hope you guys understood today. We went through square root, the questions we did. Yeah, it was, there were times where I was stuck or sort of, but it was more of the fact that I went wrong there. That's what happened. In the in the long division method, I went wrong at a part in the fundamental. So don't forget those stuff. Always remember, there, even though how much you know, there you will go wrong at some point. So please do try to fix on to the models if you know your models, and if you know your past paper, if you have done your past papers, and if you have those knowledge, you can uh, get on with it. So it's thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for coming and hitting that like button or subscribing, or thank you so much. It would really mean the world to me, more than you hitting the like and subscribe. I told this last week also. It would really mean the world to me if you guys can go out and share this video with a person who really needs this. I know you might need this, but there is another person who needs it. Always share knowledge. There's nothing better than sharing knowledge on earth. That it's the most easiest thing. It's the most amazing thing a human can do is share their knowledge. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please share this video with one person at least who you think will gain so much from this. I think we have done a great job. I think my team, our team, the PR team, PD team, sorry, PD team, Senri and Supuli are doing a great job with the Road to A Plus initiative. And it's an honor to teach grade 10 mathematics. So there are another 29 chapters for grade 10 mathematics. That means 29 weeks more to until you guys not seeing my face after that, but after that we will be doing the past papers, of course. Anyways, it was a great session. The square root, hope you guys understood everything. If there's any doubt, like if you have, yeah, like I didn't do all the questions in the exercises, I did the hard sums, and I even got stuck. If you get stuck, or if you find anything hard, I'm a person who will say I'm stuck. If I'm stuck, I will say I'm stuck. If I got it wrong, I'm gonna say I got it wrong. I'm not scared. That's why I'm a person who I'm a person who's accountable and who takes everything, everything per se. Like, I'm a student. I'm still a student. I'm learning. I'm even learning to teach at the moment. So this is a very great journey for me also. This Road to A Plus. So basically, you can ask me any question. If you're stuck, please do call me, or not call me, comment, go to the comment section and DM us any question with regard to the mathematics, with the exercises, anything. I will even give the answers for, if you want. Please do mention if you want the answers for exercises. Please do mention, but it's better if you stick to the past papers and the district papers and the Western Province, the provincial papers and the school papers, because basically the exercise book, that textbook will not be coming. I mean, not be coming, meaning that is a bit easier. So we believe the fact that doing the standardized paper is much better. That's why I did the two past paper questions. Hope you had a great session. Oh, I think it was a great session, even though I got stuck or whatever happened. So next time next time it will be about fractions, it seems. So it will be next time it will be about fractions. So hope to see you guys next time too. And with that, it's time to end. Please do share this. And if, as the PR director of Rotaract Club of NSVM, it's my duty to say this: hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification. This is Janik Vikramasuri signing off from the Road to A Plus Grade 10 Mathematics. Thank you very much.